Curse of La Llorona, or The Curse of the Weeping Woman in some countries, is the latest entry in the Conjuring universe of movies, and while this is far more standalone than other Conjuring universe films, there are very clear-cut references to that universe. This film is directed by Michael Chaves, which is probably the point most fans have been interested in, as Michael Chaves will be directing Conjuring 3 after this, as James Wan is now deep into the Aquaman universe he's making with DC. The film stars Linda Cardellini and revolves around her and her family being cursed and haunted by the evil entity known as La Llorona, an evil spirit who takes children from their parents. If you're familiar with the Mexican folktale, then you'll probably have some interest in this film. Being from Australia myself, I don't know the folktale, so I just went into La Llorona wanting a good horror film. While the Conjuring universe films have definitely had their misses like The Nun, for the most part they've been pretty solid, especially Annabelle Creation. Curse of La Llorona falls in the middle for me. It doesn't deliver any real memorable characters or delve into the folklore too much. Rather, the movie just quickly puts together a scary ghost to haunt us for 90 minutes. If you're a fan of jump scares, the movie relies pretty heavily on them. If you're in a theatre with lots of people that are really into the film though, then that atmosphere can add to the experience when seeing it. It definitely did for me, and I think that's why I enjoyed the film a little bit more than some other people. Having people around me getting involved in the scenes made the experience more fun, because this is a popcorn horror film in the purest form. It's designed for these kinds of experiences. Outside of seeing La Llorona in that environment, I don't know if I'd really go back and revisit the film, only because the experience wouldn't be the same. The most exciting thing for me though was seeing the really interesting ways that Michael Chaves designs his scenes, as there are some great sequences that play with visuals, making what's really a pretty simple and bare bones horror script pop when viewed through Michael Chaves' lens. One sequence that really stood out to me was one involving an umbrella, and that's all I'll say. La Llorona herself is fine. She stands out more when the movie relies on practical makeup to create her for some startling imagery, but other times when she's been touched up with CG, she can come across as a knockoff of The Nun. I don't know if I want to see more films involving La Llorona specifically, as the concept feels more like a one and done deal. You could try and explain more of the lore, but it'd still be this ghost terrorizing kids each time, so the concept would wear pretty thin. What this movie does give me confidence for though is Chaves' directing ability for Conjuring 3, as he has some fantastic ideas in this film, just held back with a pretty standard horror film script. The other thing is Warner Brothers experimenting more with standalone Conjuring universe films that are more interested in adapting folktales from around the world. Don't do La Llorona 2, instead look at other folktales or horror stories that would feel at home in the Conjuring universe. There's opportunity to expand beyond just the core Conjuring narrative here, and that's what seems interesting to me. La Llorona doesn't break any ground, but it can be an enjoyable experience with the right atmosphere and crowd to give you your horror fix until Annabelle 3. The Curse of La Llorona gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your Mono Fix. Bye guys.